Joined now by our Raptors reporter, Josh Lewenberg. And Josh, you know I like to pump your tires.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to once again. You wrote a fantastic piece over on tsn.ca, the oral history of the iconic Kawhi Leonard shot. Now, of all the people you spoke to for this article, what stuck out the most?
Well, everybody had a different perspective of it. And of course, it depends where you were for the shot, whether or not you thought it was going in. I had some players tell me that they were confident it was going in just because it was Kawhi, and others that said no chance it was going in. And Serge Ibaka was one of those guys. He was right under the rim at the time, and he told me he had to fight his natural instinct to go and try and get the offensive rebound. He said on the second bounce, he nearly tipped it in. And of course, if he did, it would have been goaltending. It would have been waved off. And he said that, thank God he didn't do that. He said he would have had to retire. He couldn't have come back to Toronto. That would have been it for him. That would have been the career of Serge Ibaka. He said he would have retired.
And by the way, thank you for not writing the piece on what if the shot did not go in.
The alternate timeline?
Yeah, nobody wants to read that piece. Now, meanwhile, you also got to speak to the two men who called that game. Of course, we all know Matt Devlin, but for TNT, it was Kevin Harlan. Listening to their memories, what was that like?
Well, they both said in moments like that, and of course, they both called a lot of big games, you really have to balance calling the moment, describing it, but also not stepping on it, allowing the picture, the image to speak for itself. And I thought they both did a great job of that. Now, Devlin gave it a little bit more local context. It called it probably the second biggest moment in Toronto sports history, at least in recent history. He said the only thing that he could think of that was bigger just because of the moment, the World Series, was the Joe Carter home run. And of course, the Tom Cheek call, touch 'em all, Joe. But he said for him, that was his career highlight. And of course, getting to talk to Kevin Harlan, who called the game for TNT, just hearing him describe the moment, the iconic play and the iconic voice. That was something that was memorable for me. And he also said that was a career highlight for him, saying a lot because he, like Matt Devlin, has called a lot of really big games.
It's just so fun to reminisce, dude. Like, I'm still getting goosebumps to this day.
That was a highlight of the piece for me, is getting to go back and watch the play like another 20 times. And each time, yeah, you get chills.
All right, thank you, our Raptors reporter Josh Lewenberg. And don't forget, head over to tsn.ca to read the entire story.